Imagine a place where you can grow deeper in your walk with God, where you can explore to know Him more and become more deeply acquainted with Jesus, and where you can experience life-changing moments of joy, hope, and peace. Welcome to Alive Media Network, your new home for inspiration, education, and entertainment, all centered around one mission: to help you know Jesus more deeply and to share His love with the world, whether you're taking your first steps in faith or you've been walking with Christ for years. Alive Media Network is here for you. It's a place where you can find Bible teachings, Christian entertainment, and programs that will help you grow, challenge you, and inspire you every day, from powerful messages and Bible studies to uplifting worship and family shows. Alive Media Network has something for everyone. But our true purpose is simple: to help you draw closer to Jesus and to share the good news with those who haven't yet met Him together. Let's get to know Jesus more and bring His love to the world and maturity to the body of Christ. Tune into Alive Media Network today and be a part of something bigger than you ever imagined.
Hi, welcome back to Kingdom Minded. I am Rachel, your host. If you are new here, I like to make videos of current events and news and things that I feel like the Lord has given me some discernment on to bring to you, to bring some light and perspective into what is going on in the world around us and in our nation. This is really where I want to really hone into what is going on with the campuses. Now, again, I've already shared how there's a light and then there's a darkness. There's the Jewish people and there's the Palestinian and the Hamas and all of these evil people doing evil things because they do not know God and they are against God's people. And so they're going against light and dark situations. And I really want to show a clip real quick to kind of further explain those points a little bit more. So let's show that real quick.
All right, so talk to us about what happened. You were there, and you in the eye of the storm, Sean Feucht walks through with his guitar. Talk to us about what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was horrified, just like the rest of America, as we're seeing this anti-Semitic and Jew hatred being spewed out at a university campus in New York City. And then really that like demonic thing started to catch root across other campuses in America. And so I just said, man, we got to rally people. We need to mobilize. We need to show a different narrative. You know, we can't just hide behind Twitter and Facebook and social media and whine about it. Like, we got to rise up. This is a season of activation. And so that's what we did. And we, by God's grace, were able to rally the largest, this is what Jewish leaders are telling me, the largest pro-Israel rally in the history of New York City. And they shut the streets down. NYPD had to come out in full force with several busloads of policemen, which were very amazing, by the way. Okay, well, couldn't help but notice a face in the crowd carrying an inflammatory picture of Bonhoeffer. Eric Metaxas, talk about that experience.
Well, I didn't just end up there. Sean is a friend, and he told me, you know, he wanted to do something, and I thought, are you kidding? I'm in. My wife and I taped cardboard to the back of them. I jumped in a taxi cab and I shot up to Columbia. And so we had 3 Bonhoeffer posters. Bonhoeffer, to me, he's the ultimate face of Christians standing up for the Jews. Jesus was a Jew. Bonhoeffer understood that when the Jews are being attacked, it's an attack on God, it's an attack on God's people, and we need to stand for them. Every single Christian needs to stand up for the Jews being persecuted in our nation. And look, we have to be clear. There's always a demonic spirit behind Jew hate. This is not just some random thing. It's a demonic thing. What we're seeing right now is a demonic, radical, Islamic, jihadi movement. This is not about, we care about the people in Palestine. No, this is something that it's very, very dark. And I think I said that night when I spoke through the bullhorn, if you have a cause, you don't behave the way Hamas behaves and the way these pro-Hamas agitators are behaving. They're not behaving with dignity like Martin Luther King Jr. They're behaving like monsters. They're doing everything. In case you didn't even know anything about it and you looked at the way they're behaving, you'd say, they don't seem like good people to me.
What's so amazing to me, Megan, is in clip after clip after clip, you see the look on the faces of the protesters. You can't see their faces because they wear masks, but like the zombified look in their eyes. Have you noticed that? Like the just like blank stare as they follow orders, thinking that they are like uniquely brilliant and virtuous and everybody else is wrong and evil, as they blindly follow orders that they obviously like don't have any understanding of. It's amazing to me.
What would you say is the main goal with tonight's protest?
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU's doing.
Is there something that NYU's doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're... Do you know what NYU's doing?
About what?
About Israel. Why are we protesting here?
Palestine will be free!
I wish I was more educated.
I'm not either.
Oh.
I came from Columbia. I was there up at Columbia and we came down. They decided NYU students needed our support. So I came down. I heard there's lots of cops. Some people were saying it was getting dangerous.
But what I've been hearing from Jewish students is that, see, this is the problem is, they will show up and protest on their own. They will set up their own tables. They will hold their flags. They will chalk on the ground, just like the pro-Palestinian protesters. But there's a double standard in how the university treats them, because the university is not afraid of the Jewish students and the university is afraid of the Palestinian protesters because they see them being backed by all of this, organization, by the AOC types, by all of this funding, by the NGOs. They're not quite sure that they will not have a much bigger PR crisis if they take on the pro-Palestinian students. And so there's this double standard where they'll hold the Jewish students to the letter of the law, but they will allow the pro-Palestinian students to get away with things that they would not otherwise. And that is true discrimination, and it's troublesome. After we all watch these college students behaving so badly from the lap of luxury, like people who have been denied nothing, who have been given every opportunity, who literally have oppression envy, right? That's what we're watching.
Yes.
They're standing there.
Oh, I love that term.
Right? They're envious of the Gazans for their suffering. And so they are LARPing as the oppressed, demanding humanitarian aid. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? We can make fun of them till the cows come home. But more important than these ridiculous people is the administration, the Biden administration, and decades of Democrats who have encouraged this oppression envy, whether it's of Palestinians or of the civil rights struggle, the noble civil rights struggle. We have inculcated this woke mind view as an alibi to hide the upward transfer of wealth from hardworking class Americans into the pockets of these LARPers, right? I mean, $6.1 billion in student loan forgiveness. Biden looked at last night, he looked at these privileged students holding janitors hostage, and he said, I'm going to side with them and put money back in their pockets. I'm going to make that janitor pay off their student loans.
You made a statement just a minute ago that the policemen were very, you said very kind, and it was great to work with them.
Well, they're obviously very annoyed because Columbia will not let them take care of business and remove these encampments. I mean, listen, a lot of these police officers are Jewish. A lot of these guys, they cannot stand these whiny, petulant little brats on these campuses that decide that they're going to set up an encampment at a zone that nobody else can go into. And so these police, I mean, I really believe they were on our side. And it was interesting because I talked to one of the chief guys that was there driving up and down the streets, and he told me, he said, listen, Sean, he said, people are being arrested tonight. And he said, but not on your side. We don't have a problem with your guys. You guys are nice. You're singing, you're marching. This is right. This is First Amendment. But that side, Yeah, we've taken some of them already off to jail. So, I think it's very easy. Listen, it's the collision of light and darkness. I mean, you're seeing it play out right now. We've read about it in our Bible. We've preached and heard sermons about it. We sing songs about it. We're actually seeing light and darkness. Like, we're seeing the dichotomy. And when those come together, it's very easy to know which side God is on.
So as you can see, these kids are very deceived. Some of them don't even know why they are showing up to these protests. And then some of them are just, and I really love what she said on Megyn Kelly. I forget her, the lady that she was interviewing, but what that lady said was that these people are envious of the oppression of the Gazans. So they are role playing. It's almost like they're putting on a show and they're acting out this I'm oppressive life, so that they can feel that way as well. Because that is what's going on, and that ideology of that whole liberal, I hate to say it, Democratic Party, and like that whole woke agenda, okay? That whole very radical, very left, very crazy agenda. It is rooted in demonic stuff, okay? And these people are so brainwashed that they don't even know what they're asking, and they don't even know what they're doing. And the people that think they know, they're deceived, and then they're envious of other people's oppression, so they're trying to be oppressed themselves so that they can get that kind of attention from people. I mean, these are supposed to be Ivy League kids. These are supposed to be kids with a brain, adults with a brain. Sorry, because they're not kids anymore, they're adults. And they're supposed to be adults with a brain. But it's like, it doesn't take a whole lot to see that you're very ignorant and that you have not a clue of what you're even talking about. I mean, just look at the difference between the kids who were standing up to the situations going around them, like standing up for the American flag and standing up for the Jewish people. So gallantly, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, they flew through the night, that our flag was still there.
Young, strapping men, appropriately dressed, good haircuts, lovers of America. I'm telling you, following up my theory yesterday, it's no accident. The good-looking guys are living their lives. They love America, and America loves them right back.
Look at the way they dress. Look at the way that their appearance is. And then look at the appearance of the other side. They have masks on their face. They are dressed really crazy. They have, the shawls on them that they don't even know what really mean. And the way that they talk is so kind of trying to sound smart, but really what they're saying isn't smart, but it's like, I'm going to sound smart,
I think it's more than divestment as well. I think given the fact that the University of California is founded on colonialism, it's inherently a violent institution. There needs to be an addressment of U.S. imperialism.
And so, and I know that I'm not the best speaker in the world either, but I'm just saying for these students who think that they believe in something, there's really not a root to what they believe, because it's all false and it's all evil. I mean, they were even asking for ridiculous things to help them in their their oppressive state right now, because they needed aid to come in and feed them, and for the campus to provide silly things like gluten-free food and tofu this and that, and rope, and I forget the other thing, like rope and like crazy stuff. And it's like, are you kidding me right now? Like, are you kidding me? And so these students really have not a clue. But why is this happening? Why is this happening? And why aren't the leaders of the schools doing anything about it? because they believe the very same things, because they're influencing these kids, because you sent your kids off to school, parents, sorry to say, to institutions that basically brainwash them. You know, the thing I see in my head a whole lot is like sending kids off to like a school and they're so chipper and they're happy, and it's like kind of like a machine, and they go in, they're like, like normal people, and they come out like completely like, I hate life and justice, and oh, the world is awful, and you know, like this just completely different person. It's like they're going in and they're being indoctrinated, and they come out something completely different. But that is the case. That is what they're doing. That is what they're pushing for. And so now these colleges are reaping what they basically sowed into these kids, and you need to be this, that, and the other, and forget about family, and you need to do your own thing. Forget women, forget men. You know, why don't you just be a woman? Why don't you just be a man? If you don't like your gender, why don't you just be whatever? Like, you can be a season. I saw that the other day on the news, that now people are wanting to be identified as seasons. I mean, it's insanity. But because they have people pushing these things down their throat, they believe that. I want to go back just real quick to the campus kids, because this is something the Lord was showing me as well. We need to recognize the light and the evil. We need to recognize what is good and what is wrong. So we know that what they're doing with these kids for the Palestine protesters, that really have no idea even what they're protesting, but those who are standing with Hamas, we need to know that it's evil. We need to recognize it, and we need to refute and rebuke those plans and the schemes of the enemy. However, we also need to pray for them and love them. Because if you remember, when Christ died on the cross, he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And we need to have eyes of Christ and understand that even though we're looking at the face of evil on these people, that it is the demons behind them making them a puppet, doing what they want to do, because they're deceived and they are brainwashed and they know not what they do. And we need to pray for them and help them to receive Christ as their Lord and Savior, so that they can be set free as well. And that is how we fight against the demonic principalities. We walk people through deliverance. We help them, free them of their demons, but we also spread the gospel. We win souls, and the principalities in those areas get weaker and weaker when you win souls to Christ. That's how you fight the principalities. And that's also how you fight, is bringing awareness and helping people wake up and understand what's really going on. So that more.
The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Join Prophet and Pastor Kevin Winkler of the Church Alive in association with Alive Media Network as he shares the prophetic insight and messages the Lord has put on his heart for this hour in time. The church must have discernment in this time in history. This is led and controlled by the Holy Spirit and by his word. We must listen to his prophets and the leading of the Holy Spirit about our nation, our own walk with God, and our maturity in the church body. Let this series bless and encourage you today.
Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. The Prophetic Message Series. Watch today on the Alive Media Network.